Hey guys, we're going to talk about racial and economic diverse diversity within my community. And the first question is my is my community a diverse and homogeneous community? I would say yes, yes it is. It is very diverse. Before it wasn't, and now it is. And it's really changed and gotten better, and it's more culturally diverse. I would say today and homogeneous, and it's very tight knit and together. And you see different cultures coming into my community. Um, and so, this the second question is, um, growing up, the different experiences I had in my life. How has that shaped me to understand more about neighborlessness? I would say, um, growing up in elementary school, I grew up in Florida, and I just remember different students and different friends that had different cultures than me, and grew up around myself, and I learned to become more respectful and more understanding of how to respect different cultures and different people that grew up around me, and I learned to become friends with them, and I learned that neighborlessness and how to be more culturally diverse within my community that I grew up in. And Florida was always you always had different people. Ohio's different than Florida, but now looking back, it really helped me to understand more about different people, learn to respect different people with different cultures, and so that's the experience I had growing up in my childhood. Um, the third question is how does how what why do you feel nervousness is important? Why do I feel like nervousness is important in my life? I would say it's important. It's important within the church too, but it's also important because we as individuals, as Christians, we need to understand that neighborlessness is something that really helps us understand more about community. It brings us together. Um, it it helps us understand more about culture and different people within the culture, how to respect each other with different nationalities and cultures. And it's important, and it's important because of that. And if we didn't have that, then everybody would be treating each other very badly, and we would not have community. Um, I'm gonna also talk about three scriptures that talk about neighborliness and community. Colossians 2 from the NLT version, and they are not connected to Christ, the head of the body, for he holds the whole body together with its joints, ligaments, and it grows as God nourishes it. And I feel like that right there talks about being connected within the body of Christ and unity. And we need to understand that that's how Jesus wants us to be. We're supposed to be connected like the body of Christ within our community. Um, and the second verse is James 2:8. Yes, indeed, it is good when you obey the royal law as found in scriptures. Love your neighbor as yourself. That one talks about loving your neighbor as yourself. And I feel like James really said it well, to love your neighbor as yourself, because that's going to show unity. That's going to show that you respect each other. And that's going to show that you love the people around you, whatever background or culture they came from. And the third verse is Numbers 14:10, NLT. But the whole community began to talk about stoning Joshua and Caleb. And the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to all the Israelites at the tabernacle. There it talks about how they want to stone a brother. They want to stone both their brothers. They want to stone each other. I feel like today we need to understand that we need to be unified. We need to have neighborliness. I think the enemy wants us to divide us and stone each other, just like they wanted to stone the community, wanted to stone Joshua and Caleb. We need to not live like that. We need to live in community. We need to live in a homogeneous, diverse community. We need to understand that different people, different nationalities, the way they even act, they're different from us. We need to still love them for where they're at, um, and that's really good. That really helps me understand I need to live the opposite of what this community and this verse is doing. So thank you, and it was really nice talking to you and giving this information, answer these questions.